Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is part 3 of the beginners. How not to suck in Royal Revolt 2, the tower defense game. And we're going to look specifically at the defenses, the castle guard, the wave formation, and also defense layouts, and what's good, what's bad. But first, we have to talk about this that there is a big misconception that this is all like, oh, you got to get trophies, got to get trophies, got to get trophies, and you move up the leaderboards. You do not want trophies in the beginning of the game. The beginning of the game, all you want, and even the middle of the game, all you want is to level up your castle and to level up your troops, level up your spells. To do that, you need gold. You don't need trophies. Trophies do not help you whatsoever. Trophies only actually hurt you. They make it harder for you to progress because as you go higher up in the leaderboards, you fight harder opponents. So you actually do not want trophies at all. You do want to keep yourself lowish, and defenses aren't that important, even though this is a tower defense game. So with that in mind, we are looking at defense strategies that will help you and not really hinder you. These aren't going to be the best because you don't really want to have the best defense in the beginning of the game. You just want to protect some of your gold. Most of your gold will be protected by your treasure chamber already. You'll see your treasure chamber protects some gold right here. This has 150,000 gold protected for sure. So most of your gold will be protected. We have 520,000, and we can end up spending that gold on an upgrade or something else. So your treasure chamber is going to protect most of your gold, and they can't touch that 150,000. So really don't worry about the trophies. Don't worry about losing out on defenses, but just keep that in mind. And so for that being said, this is a basic guide to defenses. We are roughly around 1,200 trophies, fairly early in the game, completely free to play account here. So we have this purple aura. You may be wondering, that is an elite boost. That is for joining an alliance. You want to join an alliance, so I cannot stress this enough. Alliances will give you boost and give you benefits. They'll give you gold boost. They'll give you troop boost. You want to join an alliance. So we'll take a real quick look. This is the knight. The knight's getting a 31% increase in damage, and it's a fire effect, and it is also getting a 24% HP increase. So pretty significant boost on your unit right there. It only lasts a certain duration, and that is why they are all shiny and purple. In the waves, these are a decent wave setup. This is what your waves are going to typically look like in the beginning of the game, and you can actually cycle through your waves by touching the clock over here and sliding left or right. So a lot of people, they don't understand that aspect because it's not really well explained or even explained at all in game. And so that's how you cycle between your waves. What these are is your defensive troops that are coming out at certain intervals. This clock, it tells you how long in between each wave that's going to be sent out. So those are your batches of troops that are coming out of your castle gates to defend your road and your pathway. They're helping defend your castle. So the first wave is always going to change. You're going to unlock new waves as you level up your castle guard, and the first wave is always going to be the one that you just unlocked. So this wave right now is currently number 1. When we unlock another wave by upgrading the castle guard here, you can see it's going to give us a new wave right here. That one will become number 1. This one is going to be number 1, and then the wave that we have currently in here is going to get pushed back and become wave number 2. So always remember that wave number 1 will always be the brand new one. So no, your waves did not disappear. There's a lot of confusion on that. Some people are like, my waves disappeared. Where did they go? And yeah, it's not well explained. And honestly, the new wave should appear at the end, not at the front. But those are nitpicking things. That doesn't how it works, so we're not going into that. So that is how you slide through. And you'll see you can add 8 different units or 8 of the same units to your wave. And this is where the endless customization of your base and your defense comes into play. Each unit has a cost. The knights cost 1, the archers cost 2, the paladins cost 3, the frosters cost 3, the pyromancers cost 4, and each unit has a different cost and they do different things. So you'll notice that the first wave is the first batch of troops that come out. And they're initially spawned in the game already. If you'll notice when we fight, the first wave will already be spawned, and it'll be like the second wave that is coming out, or the third wave that's coming out of the castle. You want to make your first wave a tank wave, because the first batch, the hero is going to have like all his spells ready, and he's going to be able to obliterate them. So you're going to want to be like tanky, have as much HP as possible. So that's why you typically put a lot of paladins in your first wave, and then you can put some archers and some knights in there to mix it up. The second wave and every wave after there, you want to have at least one Froster and one Pyromancer in each of those waves when you unlock them. Those guys do a massive AoE effect. This one slows down all the enemies. It doesn't do much damage, but it slows, and it's very, very annoying, and it helps you defend your base tremendously. The Pyromancer burns everything and will devour all of the knights. It's a great counter to the knights and great counter to the archers. Again, so you can see we have one Pyromancer there. I don't have a Froster in that wave. So you don't always have to have it in there, but it's nice to have. You can also upgrade the strength of the waves. You can see this one only has 13 points in it. And if you click upgrade down here, you'll be able to upgrade these waves. So you click on it, and now you'll gain 3 additional points in 24 hours when it is done upgrading. So you'll see this one is level 6 and has 16 points, so we're able to put a lot more units in there and defend our base more effectively. And again, at the end of the game here, you currently will have a max of 8 waves, and then the time duration between each wave. So as a wave comes out of your castle gate, you have to wait 22 seconds before the next wave appears. As you level up, this time decreases. So it will go all the way down to, I believe, 16 seconds in between each wave. Pretty significant. Waves are one of probably, like early on, they are the most important defensive focus point of your base. They have a lot of life. They do a lot of damage. They do more damage than the towers. The next part of your defense is this tower setup and the base setup. So you get to customize your road, and you get to customize all your towers. So we have traps, and then we have towers. So we have 7 traps available, we have 12 towers available, and we also have 25 pieces of road available. To use a road piece, you click on a spot, and it has to be in the center area. You can't click up here by your castle gate. You can't click on a spot when there's something on it, like a blockade. So you click on the spot, hold down for just a second, and you'll be able to drag with your finger. And you'll be able to make a path. And you can't go through any of these runes. You have to clean them out and use your gems to clean them out. So your path in the beginning of the game is pretty much predetermined by whatever random generation your runes are set up as. So what we could do is we could do something like that. And we still have a couple extra things. So we go ahead and do that. And now we still have 2 road pieces. But there's nothing we can do to connect it. So that would be the most amount of road that we could place in that area. Again, you can also remove these runes. Clicking on them, the cost goes up. So you may want to remove 1 or 2 rune in the beginning of the game, because you have a lot of runes on the beginning of the game, and they're only costing like 5 or 10 or 15 crystals, gems to remove. But as you get higher up, they start costing 50 and 100 gems to remove. So they get really expensive, and it's not worthwhile. So keep that in mind. Your defense layout is a lot of times influenced by how your runes are set up on your map, and those are all randomly generated. What we did here is we did all basic towers, because again, I don't really care about the fences in the beginning of the game, and we put them all in a straight line. The reason we did that is because it's all heavy DPS focused right here. These arrows towers, they do a good amount of damage. You can click on them, take a look at their stats. They do 102 piercing damage every second. Again, it's all damage per second. They have weaknesses and resistances. You want to typically get to know what these do. So you can see our base is really, really weak to fire. So if someone was smart, they could go and pretty much burn through our entire base. And that's a downside to our base and how we have it set up. But it also potentially gives us gems. You can look in your defense history and see how your defense is held up